Smoke rose above the broken metal walls. The sky was red. Cities once filled with voices now echoed with silence. Humans had joined a war they didn't start and didn't fully understand. It began with a crash on Colony Theta 9, a planet mostly ignored by both Earth and the Galactic Council. But something ancient was hidden there, something valuable. And both sides wanted it. Jace Warner never wanted to be a soldier. He was a mechanic. He could fix shuttles, unlock frozen II cores, even repair alien tech with little more than duct tape and hope. But when the draft came, he was chosen, not for strength, not for skill, just for being young and still breathing. Now he was stuck in the middle of nowhere, inside a ruined station, under fire. His pulse raced as laser fire burned past the shattered wall near him. He ducked lower, breath shaking. The rest of his squad was dead or missing. His helmet crackled, no signal. No backup. He was alone. He crawled through the ruined metal hall, searching for shelter. Every step echoed louder than it should. If the enemy heard him, he'd be cooked alive. Then he found a hidden door, almost invisible under the wreckage. It was marked with strange alien symbols. He tapped the side panel. It blinked green. The door opened. He stepped inside. Silence wrapped around him like a blanket. The room was dark, but warm. Alien technology lined the walls. Soft lights blinked in colors he didn't recognize. It didn't look like a war room. It looked like a personal chamber. He didn't know whose until he saw her. She stood across the room with her back turned. Tall, muscular, skin a soft bronze, striped with deep violet marks. Her armor was half off, chest plate removed, leggings undone. Long silver hair flowed like moonlight down her spine. Then she turned. Their eyes met, and the world stopped. Eyes glowed faint gold. Not with anger, not yet, but with cold calculation. She was not like other aliens he had seen. This one was something else, stronger, faster, maybe even deadly. A mercenary, and she was now staring at a human who had just watched her undress. "You have 5 seconds, she said in perfect Terran standard, to explain yourself." Jace raised both hands. I didn't mean to this room, I didn't know it was. He stumbled over words, backing toward the door. 4 seconds. He froze. She didn't reach for a weapon. She didn't need to. The look in her eyes said enough. She could end him without even blinking. "I'm not your enemy," he said quickly. "I'm just a mechanic, lost. The battle outside, it went bad. I'm not here to fight." She stared for a moment longer, then slowly zipped her suit up to her neck. "You saw me." He didn't answer. "I don't let witnesses go," he swallowed. "Then kill me fast," her brow raised. "You're brave. Or stupid." "Both," he said, trying to smile. That made her pause. Just a moment. Something behind her sharp eyes shifted. "What's your name, human?" "Jace." She walked toward him. Each step made the floor creak under her armored boots. She stood, taller than him, broad-shouldered and armed even without weapons. When she was close enough to touch, she leaned in. "I am Velari, blood-marked, ranked elite in the Narthan Mercenary Guild, and now, Jace, you belong to me." His heart skipped. "Excuse me? You saw what you weren't allowed to." "That's a vow break. In my culture, it means one thing." "What?" "Bonding," Jace blinked. "Is that like marriage?" She didn't smile. Worse. She turned and motioned for him to follow. He hesitated, but something told him not to argue. "Where are we going?" "To get off this planet. Together. I don't even know you. You'll have time. You're mine now." He nearly tripped trying to follow. "Can we go back to the part where I was just trying to survive?" No. Outside, the war still raged. Ships burned in the sky. Explosions rumbled through the ground. But Jace was no longer just another lost human on a dead planet. He had been claimed. And Velari? She didn't care what the rules were. She only cared that this human had seen her and didn't run. That meant something to her. Maybe too much. What Jace didn't know was that Valari hadn't let anyone close in years. She'd killed for less. But something about the way he looked at her, frightened yet respectful, had cracked. Something inside her, and now she wasn't letting go. Not ever. Jace didn't know where she was taking him. The underground tunnels twisted like a maze. Pipes hissed. Lights flickered. Valari walked in front of him, silent and fast. He tried to keep up, but his leg was still bleeding from earlier. "Slow down," he said. Limping. She didn't stop. "Keep moving, you'll heal later. You know I'm human, right? We don't just heal later like your kind. That's your problem, not mine." They entered a side chamber. Inside, a small shuttle sat hidden under camo fabric and powered-down lights. It looked old, dusty, but still flight-ready. Valari tapped a panel, and the ship blinked to life. Jace stared at it. "You had a way off this planet the whole time?" She nodded. "Yes, then why didn't you leave?" She glanced at him. "I was waiting for something." "What?" "You." Jace didn't know if she was joking or serious. Valari's voice was always steady, unreadable. But her golden eyes stayed locked on him too long. "You don't even know me," he said. "I know enough. You didn't run. You didn't scream. You didn't stare at my body like a fool. You tried to leave. That makes you different." Jace felt his ears burn. "I wasn't trying to peek. I know." That made him blink. "Then why?" "Because now I want to keep you." Before he could argue, the ground shook. Dust fell. From the ceiling, a dull roar echoed down the tunnels. "Enemy walkers," Valari said. "They're sweeping the area." "Then let's go." She didn't move. "What?" he asked. "They'll shoot the shuttle down the second we launch." "We need cover. I can reroute the heat signature," Jace said. "If you give me 30 seconds. She raised an eyebrow. "You're a mechanic? I told you." She stepped aside. "Prove it." Jace rushed forward, popped open the side panel, and began pulling wires. The alien tech was strange, but not impossible. He found the coolant valves and reset the plasma. Divert line. With a small tool from his belt, he rewired the heat exchanger. The ship's core blinked blue instead of red. "Val I watched from behind." "Done," Jace said. She nodded once. "Impressive." A sudden sound made both of them spin. A door slammed open across the hangar. 3 alien soldiers in black armor stormed in, rifles raised, speaking in snarls. "VLR." I stepped in front of Jace. "Get on the ship," she said. "I can help, now." Jace jumped into the shuttle cockpit as the first bolt of plasma hit the floor near him. Valari moved like lightning. She grabbed the metal rod, flipped over a crate, and smashed it into the nearest soldier. One hit, skull cracked, down the second. Soldier swung a blade. She dodged left, caught his arm, twisted, and slammed him into the wall. Bones broke. The third tried to shoot. Jace reached for the control board and fired the ship's side turret. The blast hit the enemy's chest, launching him backward. Smoke filled the room. Valari walked through it like a shadow. Jace stared in. Shock. "Are you even real?" She looked at him, face calm. "I'm your problem now." "Lucky me," he muttered. The shuttle engines roared. Valari took the pilot seat. Jace sat beside her, still catching his breath. "Where are we going?" he asked. "Off this planet." "That's not a plan. It is now." They launched into the burning sky. Fire trailed behind them. Missiles followed, but the ship was small and fast. Jace rerouted the energy shields just in time. Explosions lit up behind them. They broke atmosphere. Silence. Space opened in front of them, like a sea of stars. Jace leaned back. "We made it," Valari said. "Nothing. Can I go now?" he asked. She finally looked at him. "No, why not? I already told you, you're mine now." Jace sighed. This bonding thing, is it forever? Valari leaned closer. That depends on how useful you are. Jace swallowed. And if I'm not, I'll throw you into space. She smiled slightly when she said it, but Jace wasn't sure if she was joking. Then she added, but I think I'll keep you, for now. Jace had survived a battlefield, fixed a stolen alien shuttle, and helped defeat elite enemy soldiers. And now he was sitting next to a dangerous, beautiful mercenary who claimed him like a pet. His day couldn't get any stranger, or so he thought. Jace didn't sleep that night. The shuttle hummed gently through space, but his mind raced like a storm. Valari sat near the front, her long legs crossed, eyes scanning stars. She didn't say much. She never did. But she hadn't taken her eyes off him since they left the planet. Can you please stop staring? Jace finally asked. I'm watching, she replied. That's worse. She tilted her head. You're mine. I have to keep an eye on my property. I'm not a tool or a slave. She stood slowly and walked over. Her armor clinked softly. As she moved, no, she said, voice calm. You're not a slave. But you are bonded, Jace frowned. Is that a real thing or something you just made up? In my culture, witnessing a warrior in their private form means spiritual recognition. It creates a link. You can't break it. That sounds like a made-up excuse to stalk me. She leaned down, face inches from his. You could have run away. You could have stared longer. But you didn't. That means your soul chose mine. My soul wasn't thinking clearly, Jace whispered. Then maybe your body was, she said, turning away. Jace's face went red. He stood quickly and followed her back to the ship's console. Where are we going now? Far from here. I have enemies, and now you do too. What? Why? Because you're with me, and people want me dead. Jace paused. And that doesn't bother you? It would bother me more if you died. That shut him up. The ship passed through a drifting debris field. Jace saw the remains of broken satellites and crushed drones. Valari flew through the wreckage without blinking. Her hands were steady. Her mind focused. You're not like any alien I've met, Jace said quietly. I'm not like any being you've met. What were you doing on that planet anyway? Looking for something. What? She didn't answer. Jace sighed and walked to the back of the shuttle. There was a sleeping pad, a small food unit, and a weapons rack filled with things he didn't want to touch. He found some protein packs and chewed slowly, staring at the stars. He missed Earth, the food, the music, even the noise. But most of all, he missed being normal. Now he was bonded to an alien killer with glowing eyes and a sharp tongue. Just as he laid down to rest, the alarms rang. Contact incoming, Valari called out. Jace jumped up. What kind? Pirates. He ran to the front. Can we outrun them? No, they're faster. Then we fight? She smiled. We? You said I was useful. Then get ready. 3 ships appeared outside the window. Dark, sleek. Hungry, they fired a warning shot across their hull. Valari rolled the shuttle hard to the right. Jace slammed into the side wall. Seat. She barked. He strapped in as the first blast hit their rear shields. Jace activated the turret from his side of the panel. They're trying to disable the engines, he said. Then disable them first. He locked on and fired. The plasma bolt hit one of the pirate ships, knocking off its side wing. The ship spun out of control and vanished into the black. Nice, Valari said. I played a lot of flight sims, Jace said proudly. Let's see how many games you've won with your life on the line. The second ship came in faster, firing twin laser beams. Valari dodged hard, flipping the shuttle upside down and back again. Jace aimed, fired, missed. Again, she growled. I'm trying. Another blast rocked the shuttle, shields down. To 30%, he shouted. Valari narrowed her eyes. I'm going out. What? She grabbed a pressurized suit, snapped on her helmet, and opened the rear hatch. The vacuum sealed instantly. She climbed onto the outer hull with a magnetic tether. Jace stared in shock as she moved across the ship like a shadow in space. He kept the turret firing, trying to hold the enemies back. Then he saw her leap. Velari launched herself from the hull, twisting midair, and landed directly on the pirate ship's cockpit. With 2 blades from her belt, she cut into the glass and vanished inside. Seconds later, the pirate ship exploded from within. The last ship fled. Jace could hardly breathe. Velari returned to the shuttle. Armor scorched, helmet cracked. She stood over him, silent, powerful. "You're insane," he whispered, "and you're still alive," she replied. Jace sat back in his seat, heart pounding. "I'm never going to have a normal life again, am I?" Velari looked at him and for the first time smiled with her eyes. "No," she said, "and that's why you'll survive." Asterisk. The inside of the shuttle smelled like burnt metal and cracked ozone. Velari sat on the floor near the open medkit. Her armor was half peeled, and deep purple blood ran from a long gash on her shoulder. Jace stared at it, unsure what to touch. "I don't know how to treat alien wounds," he said. "Then watch and learn," she replied. Velari pulled a needle from the kit and stabbed it into her skin without flinching. Jace winced harder than she did. "You always patch yourself up like that?" No one else ever stayed long enough to try. Jace sat across from her. "That's sad." "It's smart." He passed her a coolant wrap. "It's lonely." She didn't answer, but her golden eyes lingered on him for longer than before. Outside the shuttle, stars stretched like frozen fire. They had escaped the pirate ambush. Barely. The ship's shields were holding, but just barely. Jace had spent the last hour rerouting systems, patching circuits with chewing gum and blind guesses. Now the danger had passed for a moment, and the silence returned. "Why did you really come to Theta 9? He asked. Velari's hands stopped moving. Her eyes locked onto the floor. "I told you," she said slowly. "I was looking for something." "What was it?" She looked at him now. The mask she always wore seemed thinner. "A weapon," she said. "Old, powerful, buried under the southern crater." Jace blinked. "Why?" "Because I needed to kill someone." The silence became heavier. Jace didn't speak. He waited. Velari stood and walked toward the window. Her breath fogged the glass. "There's a bounty on my head," she said. 5 million credits. "From who?" "My old commander. The one who trained me." "What did you do?" "I refused an order. I didn't kill a village." Jace's stomach twisted. "He put a price on you for showing mercy?" She nodded. "Mercy is weakness in my world." "Well," Jace said softly, "your world sounds awful." Velari turned. "That's why I left it." For the first time, Jace saw more than a killer. He saw someone running, someone tired, someone scarred. "So now what?" he asked. "I find him, I end him, then maybe they'll stop chasing me. And if they don't, then I keep running." "You're not alone anymore," Jace said. She looked at him sharply. "I mean," he added quickly, "you dragged me into this. Whether I like it or not." A small smirk tugged at her lips. "True." Jace walked over to the control console and checked their course. "There's a neutral spaceport 3 hours from here. We can stop for supplies." She nodded. "Do it." 3 hours later, the shuttle entered orbit around a barren rock with flashing city lights below. A giant metal station clung to the cliffs. The sky swirled with red mist. Jace stared through the window. "Looks friendly." "It's not," Velari sighed. "Keep your eyes down. Don't talk." They docked. Velari strapped 2 knives to her hips and a pulse cannon to her back. Jace grabbed his toolkit, his only defense. Inside the spaceport, the air smelled like oil and sweat. Creatures of all shapes moved around them, tall, scaled, armored, floating. Most ignored them, but some stared. Jace felt their eyes. "Velari," walked like a ghost, smooth and silent. They reached a vendor stall guarded by a four-eyed traitor with long fingers and no nose. Supplies. Power cells, medkits, weapon charge packs, Valari ordered. The traitor blinked slowly. Payment? Valari placed a chip on the counter. The traitor scanned it. Invalid. Jace froze. Valari didn't blink. Try again, I said, invalid. Try. Again. The traitor hissed and reached under the table. Jace saw the motion first. Gun, Valari spun. Her blade flashed. The traitor's weapon hit the floor with a thud. The rest of the market went silent. Everyone stared. Jace grabbed her arm. We have to go, now. She grabbed 2 medkits and the power cells anyway. Then they ran. Blasters fired behind them. Shouts echoed through the tunnels. Valari pulled Jace into a surface pipe. They slid down metal tubing, smashed into a door, and burst out into a lower. Ali.vel, I smashed the lock panel behind them. Your money's no good here. Jace gasped. Someone marked my chip. Probably that bounty again. So how do we pay for fuel? We don't. They reached the shuttle, breathless. Alarms blared in the distance. Jace jumped in and powered the engines. Valari slammed the hatch closed just as 2 bounty hunters turned the corner. Shots hit the hull. Jace pulled them into the sky. This time, Valari didn't take the pilot seat. She leaned against the wall, chest heaving, arms crossed. You still want to go back to your normal life? She asked. Jace thought for a moment. No, he said. Not if it means leaving you to die. Her golden eyes met his again. Something between them shifted, and this time, neither looked away. Valari sat at the back of the shuttle with her eyes closed. Her chest rose slowly, steady and calm, but Jace knew her mind never rested. She hadn't spoken since they escaped the spaceport. The bounty was real. The danger was growing. And yet, Jace wasn't afraid anymore. He sat near her, checking a scanner he had repaired from scrap. The bounty signal kept pinging from nearby systems. Someone's tracking you. Jace said. Valar. I opened her eyes. I know. Jace leaned forward. They're following your biosignature. Every time we land, they sniff it out. They won't stop. Then let's change the game. Valari raised an eyebrow. You have an idea? You want to kill your old commander, right? She nodded. Then we stop running. We go find him first. She stared at him like he'd grown. A second head. You're serious? Jace stood. Yeah, you said I was yours. Fine. Then let's be smart. I can reprogram the bounty signal. Turn it into a fake trail. Lead them away. You think like a warrior. I think like someone who's tired of being hunted. Valari rose to her feet. For the first time, she didn't treat him like cargo. She looked at him like an equal. Then let's finish this. They changed course. Straight toward the Vega Drift, the last known location of her commander. It was a dead zone. No rules, no governments. Only mercenaries and killers. Valari's old world. As the ship neared the coordinates, Jace prepped a beacon decoy. He attached it to a mini drone and launched it toward a nearby moon. Trackers active, he said. Let them chase the wrong trail. Valari suited up in full armor. She strapped her sword across her back. Her golden eyes burned brighter. Jace checked. His belt just tools, a flashbang, and a heavy pulse wrench. Don't get killed, she said. You either. The shuttle entered the Vega Drift. Wrecked warships floated like bones. Junk fields and broken satellites spun in slow silence. Jace had never seen space look so haunted. They docked with a derelict cruiser, her old commander's hideout. The ship looked dead, but Valari said he was here. Jace followed her through the rusted halls. Cold air, lights flickering. The smell of something long forgotten. Valari of the Bloodmark. A deep voice echoed. They stopped. A tall figure stepped out of the shadows. Gray armor, black visor, two long blades across his back. His presence froze the air around them. "You came," he said, "and you brought a pet." "Say that again," Jace muttered. "VLAR, I raised a hand. "He's not your concern." "Oh, but he is," the commander said. "He's your weakness." Jace stepped forward. "Actually, I'm her mechanic." The commander's head tilted. "Then you'll die first." He struck. Velari blocked with lightning speed. Their swords clashed, energy sparking across the metal floor. Jace ducked as the shockwave hit a pipe above him. Steam hissed into the hall. The duel was brutal, fast. Velari struck low, blocked, kicked upward, countered. The commander moved like a shadow, slicing left and right. Jace had to do something. He pulled out a flashbang from his belt and slid it across the floor. It exploded near the commander's feet. Just a flash. Enough to blind him for 1 second. Velari didn't waste it. She spun, struck hard, and knocked the sword from his hands. Her blade pointed at his neck. "End it," he growled. Velari paused. "You trained me," she said, "and you betrayed me. You betrayed everything we stood for." "Mercy is weakness," he hissed. "Then I'll show you what real strength looks like." She struck. It was fast, clean, final. The commander's body hit the floor. Silence returned. Jace stared at her. He wasn't afraid. Not anymore. Velari dropped her sword. "It's done," she said softly. Jace walked over. "So now." "What? We run again?" "No," he said. "Now we live." She looked at him. Not like a weapon. Not like a soldier. But like something else. Hope. Velari sat on the edge of the old cruiser's hangar, watching the dark horizon beyond the stars. Jace worked nearby, repairing the shuttle's left thruster. His fingers were dirty. His shoulders ached. But for once, he felt calm. The commander was dead. The bounty network had gone silent. The death of a high-level mercenary had shaken the underworld. No one wanted to claim a prize that might lead them to Velari's blade. Jace looked at her from across the hangar. "You've been quiet." Velari didn't turn. "I don't know what comes next." Jace walked over and sat beside her. "That's the good part. We get to choose." She stared into the void. "I've never had a choice. I was raised in blood. Sold to the guild at 12. Trained to fight. To kill. That's all I've ever known." Jace leaned back. "You know more now. You spared me. I could have killed you, but you didn't. I claimed you. You protected me." Velari looked at him finally. Her golden eyes weren't cold anymore. "You were the first person who didn't flinch when you saw the real me," she said. "You were the first person who didn't treat me like I was useless," he replied. Silence settled between them again, but this time it was warm, peaceful. "Where will we go?" she asked. "Anywhere. Everywhere. There's a colony near Cygnus 9, quiet, safe. I could fix ships. You could stop running." She thought for a moment. "And if they come again?" "Then we fight together." Velari stood and offered her hand. Jace took it. They boarded the shuttle together. No longer mercenary and mechanic. No longer fugitive and hostage. Now something else. Call on partners. As the engines hummed to life, Jace looked at her. "Back when I opened that door, when I saw you, you said I couldn't leave. You saw something sacred," she said. "Something no one was allowed to see. I thought you'd kill me. I almost did. But instead, I kept you." Jace grinned. "Still think I belong to you?" Velari's lips curved in a rare smile. "You still think you don't?" They flew into the stars. No bounty. Number. Master. No fear. Only freedom. And a strange new bond that no war could break.